Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Lehman. Welcome to my YouTube channel if you are new here. If not, welcome back. Thank you for being here either way. Today I'm actually going to be doing a review on a camera I just bought, which this whole video is filmed on said camera, and that is the Sony ZV-1. I decided to buy this camera because after reading a lot of reviews on it and watching a ton of reviews on YouTube and just watching all the sample footage and all of that stuff from this camera, I've been blown away by its capabilities, and in this video I'm going to tell you why I think it's awesome and some of my personal favorite features of this camera and the most necessary features as just a vlogger. So I'm going to be going over those today, and I'm also going to be going over why I prefer it over a regular DSLR as a vlogger. So yeah, let's get right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So beginning off the video, when I first started YouTube 7 years ago, I recorded on my tablet that my parents gave me. Terrible quality. Absolutely horrendous. And then after that, I moved on to filming with my parents' phone, and I started to get into editing, and then I switched over to this little family camcorder thing that a few of my home videos were filmed on, and then I switched over to my own cell phone, and then after that I switched over to this camera. It is the Canon EOS Rebel T7 DSLR. I'm not going to go into the features of this camera, but I am going to kind of compare this one to the Sony ZV-1 that you guys are seeing the footage from right now as I go through this video. So, starting off right off the bat, I love the autofocus with this camera. Literally, check this out. Right now I have my camera on product showcase mode, so when I go like this, it automatically focuses it and then brings it back to my face. But I'm so glad that this camera has good autofocus, and it also has a flip out screen. This flip out screen on this camera is really nice because it does have a really nice display on it. Also, it is really easy to navigate, and when you're vlogging, the screen doesn't get in the way of your hand or anything, so this camera, since it is pretty small, it is built to be convenient, and so far as I've been using it, it is pretty convenient. Now, let me get into some cons, disadvantages about having this camera. So, with this camera, when I would record videos and I'd zoom in and out, you'll be able to hear every little thing that I did with the camera. This little strap always rubbed up against the microphone, but I am glad that this camera does not have that. But here's what the zoom sounds like. It is a digital zoom, so I'll just zoom in really quick. You may be able to hear this, but as you can see, zoomed in, it looks great. You get to see a lot of the details of my face, and I think that is super cool. And I just, so far with the overall user interface of this camera as well, really simple, really easy to learn about and learn how to use, so that's another plus. Also, it does come with this dead cat so that you can put it over the microphone so that it can muffle the wind noise. As we all know, that is super important when you're shooting video, especially vlogging. But yeah, this is really helpful. You just take the shoe cap off and just slide it on. Super easy application, and I really thought that was super helpful. Now, moving on, the battery life is pretty okay. It actually shows you in the upper left hand corner. For me, that's what I have it set for. It shows you how much battery life is left. So right now I actually have 1 hour and 4 minutes of continuous recording left on this camera, and my battery is halfway gone. So A plus that I did not figure out about this camera until I bought it is that you can actually charge it while you're recording. But the only downside is they use a micro USB cable as opposed to a USB-C where it would be faster charging. But I find it really helpful because a lot of cameras you actually have to take the battery out and set it on the charger for a few hours for it to charge up to full battery. And this you can literally just record. It won't really charge the battery as efficiently, but if you're in a busy filming day at home and you just need to get a video finished and you forgot to charge the battery beforehand, this cord that it comes with, it can be super helpful and you'd be able to get your video done and not stress about having to film it later or refilm it. So I find that super helpful as well. Now, moving on to the low light capabilities of this camera, I do think that the low light capabilities for the Sony ZV-1 are really well executed. Like, they're very nice, and this camera is able to fight past the low light and just make everything look nice and pretty. However, when you get into a very dark room, it does get really blurry like most cameras would. So another thing about this camera that you might want to keep in mind is that it does not have an interchangeable lens because it is digital zoom, so you got to be careful and make sure that you get it with the right intentions. Like, I don't zoom in on a lot of stuff when I'm vlogging, so I was like, oh, no problem. But if zoom is really important to you, maybe look into a different camera. But you can, I believe they sell, like Sony sells like little attachments that go on this lens to make it like a wide lens or like some other cool unique looks to the picture overall, but you cannot change it out because again, it is digital zoom. So that kind of is a restriction like that most cameras do not have. Like this one, you could just change out the lens for something else and it's really helpful, but for the Sony ZV-1 you don't have that capability, which is unfortunate. But considering all the other features that this camera has, this purchase is still worth it in my opinion because there's so many other things you can do with this camera that just blows every other camera out of the water. And last but not least, something I really love about this camera is that it does have an external mic input, and I just really love that because if you really just want like different sounding audio for your videos, you do have that option, and it's really helpful, especially when the camera is so lightweight, then all you'd really be holding is like the weight of the mic. That concludes all of my thoughts about the Sony ZV-1. Is this camera worth it? I think it is, yes. Will I ever be switching back to just using a DSLR for vlogging? Probably not. I am probably going to stick with the Sony ZV-1 for a really long time until I get tired of it or feel like I need something more. But yes, once again, this camera is worth the money, is worth all the sacrifices that you would make to get this camera because of all the features in it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you are new here and if you've never seen me before, I do not do review videos like ever, but I found this as a perfect opportunity to do a review video, so hopefully it turned out okay and hopefully it turned out to be a pretty good review for the camera that you guys were interested in today. But yeah, other than this review, I do post a lot of vlogs, hence the reason why I got this camera, and I also do advice videos and occasionally short films. So if any of that sounds interesting to you and you want to show your support further for me, then totally click the red subscribe button down below and give this video a big thumbs up down below as well to boost this video up for the algorithm and recommend it to more people here on YouTube. And that is all, you guys. Have a great day, and I will see all of you in my next one. Bye!